Now open Mary, Our Lady of Peace Mausoleum in Flushing, New York. Secure your family's future with 10% down, no taxes, and 0% interest financing for up to 10 years on pre-need crypts and cremation niches starting at just $25 per month. Protect your loved ones with the gift of pre-planning. Visit them today at Mount St. Mary Cemetery. Call 718-353-1560. That's 718-353-1560 or go to ccbklyn.org to learn more. That's ccbklyn.org.
You're commuting home with Katz and Cosby. Now, here's John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby on 77 WABC.
And we now go to Larry Kudlow, the great economic expert, of course, host of the #1 show there on Fox Business and also on WABC Radio Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. His ratings go beyond the Milky Way. They go to the stratosphere and beyond. Larry, great to have you here. And, I was watching you earlier today. You had a great segment I was watching there on Fox News. You were talking about Trump and also honing the message about, he's for no taxes. She's for higher taxes, making that very clear, the economic message this election season.
Well, it's just interesting because, Kamala gave her speech in Pittsburgh on Wednesday, and this will be her third economic plan in 2 months. Okay, and it's just as bad as the other plans. And the Wall Street Journal editorial board called it Bidenomics 2.0. And it's the same thing about destroying capital investment and profits. And it's all about big government socialism. And, this is, she said at one point, I am a capitalist. Well, she's not a capitalist. She's a big government socialist. And you're looking at record tax increases. By the way, if you tax companies, whether it's a large company or a small company, and their profits go down, what are they going to do? They're going to lay off workers. They're going to cut wages. So why is this a good thing? Then they have massive entitlements. They have huge transfer payments. And the thing that's so troubling about that, not only just the cost of it all, but the money would go to people without any work requirements, or it would go to people who don't have any tax liabilities. They're called tax refunds. But the fact of the matter is, it's just a cash entitlement. And it still has, student loan cancellations, which is illegal according to the Supreme Court. The same $25,000 free money to home buyers, which will jack up prices, nationwide rent controls, and the right to work laws, by the way, and in general price controls. So she's not a capitalist, and this would be very bad for the economy, and she'd be taxing capital gains. Unrealized capital gains would destroy the stock market and would cascade throughout the economy. In other words, it was a very bad, very poor economic speech. It's like Bidenomics and then some, okay? And that is not, I think, I know it's unhealthy for the economy, and I think it's going to be very bad for her election.
What did you make of her interview with Stephanie Ruhle of MSNBC, who's an economic gal? She does a lot of business reporting. And even Stephanie Ruhle, who's, you would obviously sympathetic host, sympathetic network, she was kind of like, I got some word salad. Like she even said that she didn't get answers to pretty basic economic questions, Larry Kudlow.
Yeah, well, Kamala has a habit of lying. And that's very important. And MSNBC Ruhle did call her on it. I mean, she said it's the same old lies that Biden told. I inherited the worst economy. That's simply not true. She inherited a tremendous V-shaped recovery from the pandemic, or we inherited inflation. That's not true. Inflation was less than 2%, 1.4%. We created 800,000 manufacturing jobs. That's completely untrue. Almost all those jobs were snapbacks from pandemics. Trump created nearly 500,000 manufacturing jobs. So it's sort of one lie after another. And I think if you lose MSNBC, you're in trouble. You're in deep trouble.
Ed Cox.
Yeah, Larry, shifting to something else. First quarter growth was 1.4%. Second quarter is 3%. Is this going to make a third quarter, the election quarter, something higher than that? Is it possible with the economy our size for the administration to actually have a good times kind of a growth just around the when the election's happening?
Well, you'll get a GDP report preliminary in late October, just before the election. It could be good. It could be decent. I think the Atlanta Fed GDP tracker was 2.5% or 2.8%, something like that. But the problem isn't GDP. The problem is affordability. That's always been the Achilles heel of the Biden economy. So prices have risen faster than wages over the past 3.5 years, quite a bit faster. So wages have actually gone down for working folks, weekly wages down minus about 2.5%. Under Trump, they rose by 9%. It's an affordability crisis. GDP is boosted in many ways by consumers who are benefiting from government spending programs and by government spending programs themselves. So I think that's the story. I actually haven't looked at the numbers, except that the Atlanta Fed is just short of 3%.
Wow, very interesting. Larry, we love you. We always love having you here on the show. And everybody tune in to the great Larry Kudlow with the Stratosphere, of course, and well beyond 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on WABC Radio. Thanks so much, Larry. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Rita. Appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend.